G'day, g'day. The microphone is on. That's good. Welcome back. The final live stream of 2025. Here we go. Let's populate the screen with all the wonderful things that are going on here. Make sure we've got some tunes in the background as we do. And welcome everyone. I hope everyone had a great Christmas, if that is something you celebrate, or had a good time in the last few days if you had it with family and friends. But we're back into it. It's a Saturday, so we're back into it. The final Saturday of 2025. So yeah, let me know if you had a good time. You had a good Christmas period, a good holiday period. But we're right back into it. We've got a little thing in the middle of next week called New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But then we're rocking and rolling right into 2026. So we're moving forward. The last thing that we need to do is have our final stream. Now, today is not YouTube Creator News. It is old school Creator Breakfast. We're still going to discuss some things that have been news in the past 12 months, the past year. But we're also going to just open up Q&A. So anybody's got anything to ask a question about anything to do with YouTube, being a content creator, anything like that, then you could drop it in the chat with a big Q in front of it to say this is a question for Doug. But of course, continue the conversations in the chat because they're always encouraged. Now, speaking of the chat, we're going to want to jump in and hydrate nice and early today. I saw that coming up nice and early. Now my right in ear isn't working for some reason, and I just tried to troubleshoot it before the stream, but couldn't get it working. So I'm only hearing things in the left ear. Maybe it's not the in ear, maybe it's just my ear. Who knows? So I'm only hearing half the thing, so I might have the levels a little bit off. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to jump in and say g'day to people in the chat. So let me hit the buttons and it's working. That's good. Pressing the buttons you want to come up. Monique was here nice and early before the stream started, saying let's get it started. And now we are getting it started. Welcome. Kevin's here as always. Welcome, Kevin, from Lakeland, Florida. We've also got Cacophonous Cat is in the house. Welcome. Frankie YT. Frankie YTAV. I just had a mental blank. I just went, my mouth would not speak for a second. Let's go. 2025 can get in the bin, indeed. Indeed, it is behind us and is moving forward. Oh, that is hilarious. I just saw something. I'm just gonna do the shout outs and then we're gonna get straight to the gifted memberships that have just been dropped. Livestream Consultants is in the house. Welcome. We've also got Froggy316 is here. Afternoon. That's live. That's one of Life on YouTube, Twitter's channels. I don't know if that's one or two. Ollie Smith is here. Welcome. Anfield Road is here. Lee, welcome. And the one that I just mentioned. Let me find the right button for this. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Whoop. I clicked on the one below. The Cha Cha Ching King has just dropped 5 gifted memberships nice and early in the show. And they dropped on the following. We've got Life with Andrea. We've got our friend, well, actually that's me. That's my side channel for some reason. Stanley Orchard as well. And that's what I was chuckling about, the fact that it was I picked up my own a gifted membership. Karen McCaw is got one as well as Tech Troublemaker. So big shout out to those people getting that gifted membership courtesy of the Cha Cha Ching King. I got to get that right. It's starting off wonderful, isn't it? So yes, and it's big good morning, everyone. Appreciate the gifted memberships, by the way. Thank you so much for all those who just gifted it. You've got access to members only content, members only posts, the Discord. which so there should be instructions somewhere in the members only posts back in the day on how to get to the Discords. And here's another thing, monthly live streams for members. We're trying to get back to that. We did one right at the end of November, so we're due to do one. We'll do one in the new year sometime. Maybe even while I have some time off. Maybe next weekend. I have a long weekend from Thursday through to Monday. So I'll have a little bit extra time. So, you know, we'll throw an extra stream next weekend. And a bunch of other things. So if you remember, or you just picked up a gifted membership, then make sure to check that out. Where are we? Yeah. That was one of my secondary channels. Actually, it's one of my main viewing channels. I do a lot of viewing and sometimes a little bit of testing over on that channel. Beanie Draws is in the house. Welcome, Beanie. Everyone tap the thumbs up. That's good advice, as always. Beanie says, I nearly slept through everything. Well, no, you're right on time. We just got started a few minutes ago. So, you know, there it is. So yeah, today it's purely Q&A, but to keep us like in the topic of YouTube and YouTube creators, we're going to do a bit of a recap review of the year, what some of the news stories were that we covered here on this stream from January through to December. We've got that information coming up. But yeah, as always, open up Q&A, drop a Q in front of your question, just drop it in the chat. That's all you have to do, nice and simple. Everything else is running as per usual, as we have. We already had the hydrate gift come up, telling me to drink some water. So I've got my water ready. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, as I said at the top of the show. So let me show you sort of what we sort of got in mind. Now let me see. I got a little bit of a infographic. So we're going to pull this up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all the lovelies on there. This is just like a year overview. You can see I built this. Notebook LM's an interesting tool. So I built this in Notebook LM, and because of the circle thing, I thought I'd just throw myself in the middle here. Here we go. So this is based just on all the content that we did in live streams, as you know, YouTube Creator News or Creator Breakfast, where we covered the news topics of the week. Most weeks I did, I believe, 45 streams throughout the year. So out of the 52, we only missed a handful of weeks. So I did 45 streams in 2025, not counting this one. This will be 46. So effectively, I only missed probably six weeks out of the 52 weeks where I didn't do a stream on a Saturday. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But this is a bit of an overview. This is a bit of a creator's guide to the biggest changes, sort of some of the things that we noticed and patterns that we noticed in the announcements that we covered in the past year. It says here in 2025, YouTube rolled out a wide range of updates focused on integrating AI in the creation process, refining monetization systems, and updating community policies. We saw all of that, plus a lot of just general tools and new features. These changes introduce powerful new tools for creators, which we'll talk about, whilst also implementing stricter rules for content and account conduct. And so this is a bit of an infographic to sort of give you a guide as to what we looked at. There's a lot more AI products that are in our toolkit, whether that's generating generative AI for making video clips and shorts in particular, or the detecting AI impersonation, which talked about towards the end of the year with the likeness tool, and a lot of other stuff that, like inspiration tab, different things like that. The Us Studio that is somewhat out in the US, but nowhere else. Things like that. We'll talk about those. There's smarter analytics and brand deals. So a lot of more tools for helping you along, understanding how your brand deals are working, or to find brand deals, or to give like a media kit to brands, different things like that. We also got collaborating and contenting. So we've got the collaborators. The collaboration feature was a big one that came out in September. So we've got that, and community spaces. So different ways to connect with people, whether they're fellow creators or your audience. So in the way of inside of policy and monetization shifts, we saw a big overhaul in some of the ad systems. This is the way they implemented mid-roll ads early on in the year. They updated that. How reviews get done to make sure that a video is ad friendly. There was some stricter content and community rules rolled out. Policies were updated to target AI-generated slop, or just slop in general, gambling and graphic violence in gaming. Some other things that they made have adjusted, become more lenient on some profanity stuff as well. And in live streaming, it's odd, I don't remember this one, but apparently we talked about it because this is generated off my content. The live streaming age increased to 16 from 13 back in July. I don't know if that's July 2022 or the 22nd of July. It says July 2022. It's a crazy one. So yeah, so that's a bit of an overview, but we're gonna go into a little bit more detail. So I have a little thing here. We've got a little slideshow, also helped out by our good friends at Notebook LM. Help me, could you imagine me having to go through 45 of my streams and retaking notes on what I covered? That would have been an impossible task to prepare. So Notebook LM, props to you. All I had to do was plug in all 45 URLs for it to scan my content and sort of make lists for me. It was a list maker. So that's why there's a fancy a platform in motion. I didn't come up with that. It is definitely, YouTube is ever fluid. So they're not wrong. So let me just see. Yeah, it is a nice, that infographic on the previous screen. It was very nice. All I did was I wanted like a blue theme, because, blue, and told it to sort of cover the content that I'd already uploaded, and to give it like a YouTube-esque feel. So it was like using like YouTube sort of style infographics. So I think it did a pretty good job. I liked it. All right, so we're going to step through this. At any point, we can sort of drop out. We're going to start with January and work our way through. And if any questions pop up during this, we'll just pause and address questions as we go. This is just a recap, just to refresh ourselves of some of the things that YouTube announced, rolled out, launched, started experimenting with in 2025. And I also have separate notes, which I'm going to pull up, and just to make sure that they sort of match. And they seem to. January seems to match. In January, we saw channel creation limits. It says here, to combat spam, creators may now need advanced features to create additional channels. I remember the basic idea was there's a limit to how many channels you can create every year, and then they sort of tighten that up a bit. So there's a newer set of rules than there was before. There was always a limitation, but now you have to have advanced features to create additional channels. And so this was to limit people creating, channels to do inappropriate things, whether it's to inflate metrics or just to post dodgy content, whatever. I think most people who are doing that sort of thing would have been smart enough to not to create a bunch of channels under the same login, because when one channel gets terminated, all channels get terminated. Now, back early on in January, we were already talking about the YouTube Create app, and that time was only on Android in a certain amount of countries. And that back in January is when they integrated Google VO3 model, text to video and text to image generation with sound directly in the app. I don't recall that being January. I recall that being later in the year. Maybe it was VO2. I want to say it was VO2, not VO3. and not with sound. There was certainly some image, text to video and text to image back then. Although this was the Create app, so the Create app was different to the Shorts tools. So yeah, that's fair. So it was a feature update at time. Just look at my additional notes that I got on the side here. They also rolled out some new shopping data analytics for people in the doing YouTube affiliate, and maybe some of the other selling that they're doing if they've got a connected like Shopify, different things like that. January, they just rolled out, a couple of things, couple of little tweaks, couple of little updates. And a big shout out to Creative Classrooms in the house. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, popping and say hello real quick because having a 48-hour detox. That's like a detox. Check your email, comments on YouTube. Yes, that's a Saturday morning. Here I am. All right, let's jump to February, shall we? Now I told it to keep everything, to keep the first third of the screen clear so I can put my video in. But yeah, was it consistent? No. Okay, I'll pull myself off just for a second. In February, they expanded the communities beta. More channels gained access to this mobile first space. Remember at the time it was just on mobile. We also had, do I go across or down? We'll go across. Device type data in the YouTube Studio. This is where they started breaking down a little bit more analytics in terms of the device people watching on mobile, computer, tablet, and TV. They first rolled out the voice replies experiment, the one that this month in December that they just rolled out to a lot more people. A lot of people have it now. So remember that was started as an experiment back in February. Interesting. And also in February, they added the promote button to Shorts. Back before then, you could only have the promote button. They only had the promote button on long form content. So, yes, that is February. Will I be able to bring myself up on this one? Oh, that's better. We'll work with that. We'll work with that. Okay, March. Let's see. Oh, Brent is here. Hello, hello. Oh, there's a hello there. There it is. Yes. Make sure to don't dwell. Okay, let's get back to March. Mid-roll ad system changes. They announced in March that from May 12 that the system will prioritize placing ads at natural breakpoints. We talked about a lot about that in that period, about whether it was going to be too much or whether we could trust YouTube to place the ads, different things like that. They redefined Shorts views and how they counted them back in March. Remember we talked about that. That was controversial in the sense of it was overinflating views from that point because it was counting views and engaged views instead of just engaged views being views. And we also saw the YouTube affiliate program expand to Vietnam and Malaysia that month. There you go. April. There's only two things on April, but these are interesting. Creator Research Program was launched. We haven't heard too much about this since then. YouTube actively seeked feedback on shopping affiliate features from streamers. This is a research program specific for the affiliate program. Podcasters and Shorts creators in English, Korean, Japanese, and Indonesian. Let's make sure my other notes are next door here. Now the hype feature went into beta in April. This is where they did a limited beta in Taiwan, Brazil, and Turkey. Allow viewers to collectively boost a video's visibility on a local leaderboard, which we know later in the year we'll see when that actually rolled out. Now, there's a few more things in May. May had a few more things. I don't know how many slides we got for May. We got 2 slides for May part 1 and 2. In May, the revert to original feature was depreciated or deprecated. You can use either word, I don't care. It works. That's where you could, like, when you did a trim on a video on YouTube and you changed your mind about it or something, you used to be able to hit revert to original and it would revert it back to the original content. And the reasoning for turning off that feature was high levels of abuse. So we never got a straight answer as to what that was, but I know we had some theories at the time on what that was. The feature allowed undo edits in Studio Editor, as mentioned, and it was slated for removal in late June, but they announced it in May, I should say. That's May, not March. Side-by-side ads for live streams. Now, this is an interesting one because I know they mentioned this one also at Made on YouTube back in September. This is a new ad format, which we didn't know too much about at the time in May. And so we found out a little bit more about it at Made on YouTube. This is where an ad will play side by side. I haven't seen it too much in the wild. I've seen it on one channel where it actually worked on desktop. But I know that this sort of happens a lot more on TV viewing, apparently. But it should happen on desktop as well, as it says here. And it is supposed to have already rolled out since Made on YouTube in September. I have not seen I've only seen it on one channel that I watch, and it was on like live streams, of course. I watch a lot of different live streams, as you know. So yeah, I really don't know if that's fully rolled out yet, although they reckon it has. But that's when it first was announced. Also in May, trending tab was removed and it was replaced by some different sorts of charts. So category charts, category specific ranking charts like music, podcasts, and gaming. Sort of the major sort of things that people would want to see. Let's jump to the second part of May. Once we do May, we'll jump back to the chat for a minute. An auto review process was introduced for videos with limited ads, reducing the need for creators to manually request human reviews. So this is like an automatic review when a video was given a yellow limited ads icon. The playables builder, which we saw a greater rollout and sort of example of like earlier this month, the beta program for that was launched, where nobody could really access that, but it was out there except for, by invite only. So we've seen more news on that since then. Google Lens in Shorts, a circle for search feature was tested, and I have seen this like in the wild now for Shorts, but back then this was like being tested, allowing viewers to use Google Lens to identify and search items within a short. So if you saw something in a short, you could like highlight it, circle it, draw around it, and it would do like a Google search, so you could figure out what it is. Maybe it was like something that and it'll show you if it's something that was purchasable, it will maybe show you a link where you could go and purchase it. Hopefully a YouTube affiliate link for YouTube's sake. So there was all that going on in May. May was a little bit more packed. Shout out to Artisaven is here. Tish, welcome to the stream. Final stream for 2025. Do a little bit of a 2025 in recap. And then we'll and then anytime you've got a question, drop it in the chat. I'll have some questions for you at the end. Everybody. That's everybody, not just Tish, but everybody. All right. Now, they put June and July together. I'm not sure why, but I think it's because it was summer. In the northern summer, I think there wasn't a lot of announcements in that period. But we had stuff every week. There were some weeks where it was pretty quiet, if I recall. But they've put them all together in this particular screen. We had the live stream age requirement increase. We saw that on the infographic. Effective on July 22, the minimum age to live stream increased from 13 to 16. Obviously, YouTube were getting ready for the limitations put on people under 16 from doing stuff on YouTube. They knew that was coming from different government angles, plus they were rolling out their own, I think, 18 plus sort of thing that might come up in a different month soon when they sort of rolled out the changes for young people, the ability what they're able to do, watch and view, and that they needed to maybe get, they're automatically going to get restricted to content that was inappropriate for people under 18, different things like that. That was coming out later after this. Now, interestingly, the monetization policy on inauthentic content, I made a couple of videos on that. That one had a bit of traction on that story. That's where the repetitious content policy was updated to better identify mass-produced or AI-generated slop, clarifying that while AI tools are allowed, low-effort content is not. So that's it. That was important. That was a monetization policy update. And also they, as a quick mention, they expanded the premium light tier for getting YouTube Premium to countries like Australia, Germany, and France. So it was a quiet 2 months in June, July. All right, September has been broken up in a couple of parts. Remember September was made on YouTube. Hey, what happened to August? Why is there no August? I don't know. I don't know why there's no August. Okay. There's no August. Now, I know no, okay. I want to show this properly. Here we go. September, collaborations. Collaborations was first tested in like late August, where we saw that Mr. Beast, Mark Rober test. But by the end of September, collaborations was already rolling out to most channels. And yeah, I think that's probably like, for some people, that's feature of the year. Also in September, the hype feature expanded. Viewer-powered video boost feature rolls out to more markets, focus on smaller creators from 500 to 500,000 subscribers who will land on a weekly leaderboard. So basically you get hype points and end up on the leaderboard. We talked about hype. I think one of my biggest videos for the year is on hype. So that was in September. Oh, and then they moved it back for the next slide for September. Good on you. Oop. I clicked the wrong one and got rid of the slide. There we go. Also, we saw communities arrive on desktop, where it was on up until now, at this point in September, it was only on mobile. So now at this point, they start rolling it out to desktop version 1. We've had a few iterations since where they've added more features on desktop as well. Back in September, they also launched the YouTube Creator on iOS only in Australia and Canada at the time. We know that since then, they've rolled it out to the same markets as Android in the past month or so. And also the title A/B testing expanded. They were still doing the testing. I don't think they'd launched in September, but it was still being tested, but it was more of a larger expansion. I think a lot more channels that we know started getting it in September. I'm mourning whatever happened in August, that we missed August. All right. October, Media Kit's rollout in YouTube Studio. And I think since then, I know at least here in Australia, they moved the Media Kit feature into Brand Connect because they rolled out Brand Connect so we could like have it as a function under Earn. And they moved the Media Kit under that. But back then, you can go and get to your channel from this point on in October and click the Media Kit option and get a professional PDF with your stats at that time. So you can go in and update that every few months if you wanted to have some sort of Media Kit to show your channel statistics, to show brands in the hopes of getting a brand deal. In October, they also rolled out the Second Chance program for terminated channels. A pilot program allows some creators terminated under now depreciated policies to apply to start a new channel after 12 months or a year. And in October, they also rolled out the Extend with AI option in Shorts. So October had a few things. November, in my mind, was busy, and there's a few things here in November. And a shout out to Shady LLC. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. and my bot, which is basically Social Stream Ninja, does the auto high. Must be doing highs and hays. All good. All right, welcome. I don't know what intermedium is. That's interesting. Thank you, Notebook LM, for doing this. November part 1. We've got new gambling graphic violence policies. Was one of the other major policy updates that was to kick in from November 12, updating rules around gambling, digital goods, and graphic violence in gaming. It was announced the Adobe Premiere mobile integration, so you could create shorts and videos on Adobe Premiere app on your phone, and then they have a built-in upload flow that works with YouTube, so you can upload it as a short and do all the things. So I have not yet played with that option, to be honest, because it is a free app. The Adobe Premiere mobile integration is free. It is part of the app, I believe. In part 2, we've got more information. It was announced that the thumbnail quality upgrade I don't know what interregular is. It's just started sticking interregular into my notes. Thank you, Notebook LM. But yeah, it was announced the thumbnail quality upgrade. I have not seen that in the wild yet. Let me know in the chat if you've seen that in the wild in terms of being able to upload high quality, like up to 50 megabytes, 4K resolution thumbnails. Because last time I uploaded video, which I admit was early in the month, it was still the 2 megabyte limit. We also at the same time was told about automatic upscaling of videos, and we know that they since then have put in a setting where you can opt in or out of the option to allow YouTube to automatically upscale your content. And I want to say hello to SMA Sky real quick. Welcome to the stream. Also, Larry Home Rapid Repair is here. I thought YouTube Brand Connect was a low-use feature. Then I met this brand. Inside of it, we go on to a wonderful brand relationship. Thanks, YouTube. Yeah. You sometimes are going to get surprised by what some of the tools help you with. And I'm just waiting for more to happen in Brand Connect in terms of Australia. At the moment, you can do your media kit and a few other things. It's more of a discovery for brands to discover you. There's not a lot of, they don't have the whole offer thing in here in Australia yet. So it just depends on where you are. The last one for November is gifted memberships on iOS. A billing update finally allows iOS users to purchase and gift channel memberships directly within the YouTube app. To be honest, I don't think I've seen that in the wild myself. And I know it was announced. It seems like it was longer than November, but hey, they're telling me it's November. It was probably November. All right, let's jump into December, which is this month. Remember we had, and we've got more interregulars on these. So anyway, we had the YouTube recap rolled out. That was for viewers really, but that was, that was pretty cool. We're going to go across likeness detection tool. This was rolled out. Working on stuff. I've got that in my queue. Likeness detection tool. I am stuck at the moment editing a video on the YouTube Create app. Now that it's on iOS and they've got some updates. I'm doing a complete walkthrough on iOS. That's going to go on the mobile channel. So it's not going to be on this channel. I'm trying to get that away. It's like my recording was like 45 plus minutes, and I'm trying to cull it down and edit it, make it more succinct. But I touch on every option you have when you're editing, whether you're editing just a clip that's inside or just general, how to trim, how to delete, how to do text and add an image, and everything that you can do in the app. I got that one coming up, but I do believe I got in queue is to look at this likeness detection tool, touch on that. I should have really done it when it was first announced, so we've got more traction. We also had subscriber-only comments. This was an interesting one that I caught from Peggy K, who covers a lot of social media features. She's the one that got this on my radar. I didn't see it anywhere else, and that's where you can technically restrict comments on a particular video now to just subscribers or members. You can have it open to everybody. You can turn your comments off completely, or you could have that middle ground, subscribers only. Some discussion with creators says that they don't think it's going to be terribly useful, or that it just sort of restricts people from commenting more, which are all solid points. And also this month, on December 10, we had our Australia social media ban come into effect. Because I talked about it, that's why it's included. YouTube obliged by stating that they would, anybody who was under 16, that they were going to basically take your channel down, put it in like a stasis until you turn 16, prove your age, you can have your channel back. That's how YouTube are handling it, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's like a bit of a review. I know there's a bunch more that we talked about. This is what the recap, my analysis of recap picked up on some of the more major topics on this. So I'm just going to jump back to here. Make sure we're all still going there. Yeah, it's still going there. All right, let's dive into the chat now. Remember, if you've got a question for me, drop a Q in front of it. But I'm going to dive in, see what people are saying about any of these things. Or if you've just got a question for me, or you want to share something, now is the time just to drop it in the chat. The new channel hasn't changed thumbnail res, but that could be that it's a new channel. I haven't uploaded this channel in ages. Yes, interesting. I'm sort of having a look to see if there's any indication when I do an upload and attach a thumbnail. You'd imagine that when I attach a thumbnail to schedule this stream, that I would notice that there's like a high resolution. You think, well, a thumbnail on a live stream is the same as a thumbnail on a video, so it should all be good. It should all be good. Thanks YouTube Brand Connect, and thanks for all the updates, YouTube. Yeah, there's always things. Now I'm interested. I'm gonna leave it out. Maybe I don't know if I'll do a poll because I haven't thought of a specific question with multiple choice answers yet. But I'd be interested in comments on maybe stuff that they haven't released yet that they mentioned at Made on YouTube back in September. Or do you have a feature or something that you'd like to YouTube to like implement or roll out in 2026 in the next 12 months? Let me know what ideas you have. Drop it in the comments or in the chat if you're live. Comments if you're on the replay. Either or. I'm interested in them now live and after the fact. So if you're watching this after the fact, yeah, make sure you comment. Larry says, I've been playing with the voice reply feature. It's very different to speak to someone rather than type. It is. I had someone, I don't know if I talked about this last week because I don't know when it happened. I had someone sort of say something in one of my older videos, and it was like a one-word response, and so it wasn't clear as to whether they were like being like negative or positive or asking a question. It was a little bit vague, so I did a voice reply. I said, "Hey, not real clear what you were saying. I'm not understanding. If you want to like jump back in and elaborate on your comment, I'd be very happy to read that and maybe also again reply with a voice message." Didn't get a reply, so I think they were like one of those comment and run type of people. I had a feeling that it was like an attack or not an attack. Attack's not the right word, but like it was negative or disputing that what the content of the video was accurate. I don't even remember what video it was now. David Matney is here. Member, of course. Welcome to the Hewson YT. Absolutely. And what's that? That's a... I've lost it. How many months is that? Does it tell me over here? Oh, you've signed. Oh, hang on. Here we go. I know what's happened. Now when I look at the proper YouTube chat, I know what's going on here.
Thank you for becoming a channel member.
Dave Matney's actually become a channel member. I know he's had some gifteds. So I'm looking at the number on the glasses there, and it's a blob even when I'm wearing my glasses, so I can't tell. So welcome. SMS guy says the thumbnail generator script I have in GIMP has been broken. I got to fix it, but I haven't been saving thumbnails in PNG lately, and it hasn't complained yet. Well, that's good. But I haven't been looking close at file size. Yeah, neither have I. That's what I'm. Dave Matney says here like a video reply to comment. Now that's an interesting one because you can do that in the form of a short. So you can reply to a comment with a short. So you know it's kept brief, brevity. And remember, I think is it 30 seconds for the voice reply? But with reply to a comment with short, yeah. It's a bit tricky to get to because you have to do it on your video on the YouTube app. You can't do it in Studio like you can with voice reply, or in the the comments, go to the community comment section rather than under a specific video. Whereas the reply to a comment with the short, you have to be under the comments under the actual video. So it sort of limits, you have to like see it maybe somewhere else and go, I'd like to reply to that with a short. And then you got to go to that video and find the comment to do it. Whereas with the reply to voice, it's there already in Studio. It's already there on the main app. So wherever you find the comment, you can reply with the voice. So it's a little bit of an uneven sort of, in terms of complexity. The voice reply is easy to do. It's like hold the button, press the button, record your message, make sure it's out. Make sure you listen to it, check that's good. Yeah, happy with that, send it. It's simple. It's simple. Brent says, Nano Banana has helped with my thumbnails so much. Yeah. I usually use it to like come up with ideas. I get it to make some concepts, and then I might take elements from what it produces and then bring it into Canva and actually assemble the thumbnail myself. Sometimes I'll use the background. Sometimes I'll go, oh yeah, that's a pretty good background. I'll use most of that. Or I might use the whole thing, maybe take some elements out, add some text in Canva, maybe cut myself out if I'm already in it, and maybe just sort of give it like a slightly 3D look or something if I need to, or if I need to like resize myself. Because sometimes it'll frame badly and it'll be sort of just, a little bit too much headroom or something to my liking. So I'll like cut myself out and then blow myself up a little bit more, but keeping the same background. So yeah, Nano Banana is interesting, and it's only getting better. Since the most recent update, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like Nano Banana seems to be, and I heard that ChatGPT just had an image update, and it used to be better than Google at any images until Nano Banana came out. Then I got Nano Banana Pro. It's interesting. It's good for sort of ideation in the sense of make me a thumbnail that sort of looks like follows sort of this is sort of what I'm thinking about, and it's like a mock. It makes up like a mock up for you, and you can go, I like that. I don't really like that. Maybe we can change that. Maybe we can just use elements of that. So yeah, definitely something I use as well. Here we go. There's a question from Larry here. If I recall, the video reply is only in YouTube app. Yes. So it confused creators. However, the voice reply is also in Studio Mobile, easy to use. Yes. The ease of use is way better on the voice replies in comparison. I could probably do a demo. Let's do a demo. Let's talk, because we talked about that and it's interesting. The contrast. Let me go to this. Everything can stay on screen. So for YouTube, so let's go. We're gonna have to find a video. So let's go to my videos. Not my videos. Thank you. Something that has some comments on it. Look at some comments on my last live stream. I could do that. Why not?
From the office to the field.
Pause. Any problem with ads? Okay. We can go to comments. So we can have this. Say we want to reply to this one. Right away, you can see this is in the mobile app. You see the voice reply there with the blue dot to show that it's a new feature. But there's also the camera next to it, so that's the reply to a comment with a short. So I could do either because I'm in the YouTube app and I'm under the video, which is cool. Which is about the only way you can do comments on the main YouTube app. So if you find it on the main YouTube app, that's pretty cool. So let's just jump out of that for a second. Let's go to Studio app. Go community. I'm just going to have you all find a recent comment. Well, I got a comment from 2 hours ago. Oh, somebody just wait. I just got picked to moderate someone's channel. So the way to delete a comment while on a cell phone is to press and hold. Actually, I think you just have to tap. So I could reply to this. If I hit reply, you can see I've got the audio option there straight away, but I don't have the reply with a short. In this case, the voice option would be good, or I could type a text message. I don't know if I would necessarily want to do a sort of a short reply. Where I find reply to a short is if you have to demonstrate something. Like sometimes I'll do it as a screen record because I'm demonstrating something that's they're asking a question about a mobile option in YouTube or an editing app or something like that. Sometimes that might happen more over on my mobile channel, but you just say that I want to demonstrate something, or if I can pick up my phone and quickly film it with the back camera, and maybe I can film like my desktop. If I'm just going to say, here it is here on the desktop, do all that sort of thing. Then if I want to do this now, I have to go and find this video. Now this video is my Become a Great Mod. This is one of the first videos on my channel. Video is probably, how long have I been on YouTube? It's probably 6 or 7 years old now. And they're asking a question on it. Now, obviously that question has a different answer here in 2025 than it did back in 2017, 2018, whenever I made that video. So it's an interesting one. So that one, I could do a voice reply. But it would be awkward, as I was saying, it would be awkward to go and find that video because it's so far back in my catalog. To go find it on the YouTube app, I have to scroll for a while to find that video. Once I'm on the video, finding the comments should be easy because you just set up for newest. It should be the one right at the top. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. I need a reminder to hydrate. Gonna turn that off. Let's go back to the screen. David said, I just made a comment. I don't know if that's on. Is that on my channel? And actually, must I find it? I have to find it in the studio because it will just come up in the. I'm not sure where you made a comment. Oh, there it is. Here we go. I found the comment. Oh, members. See that members rock? I said members rock. You just got a super chat. So.
Thank you for the super chat.
You click on it. Larry says, I think the voice reply option is awesome, although a viewer on desktop will only see text. Yes. On desktop. I did see this. Okay, let's do an example on desktop. Okay, here we go. Let's go back. Now here's the one that David just right at the top there. Just dropped one on one of my recent videos. So I could. Okay, so all I have to do. Go there. I've got 30 seconds to leave a voice reply. Hey David, Doug here. Good to see you. Glad you stopped by the video and glad you stopped by the live stream. Catch you soon. So I've just left that. I don't think I need to check that, but I could check that. I'm going to hit send. I'll go to, what I will do is go to, so you can see it says uploading. So it's going to give it a minute to process. And it's also going to turn that into like a text transcript. So while I do that, let me do this.
Thank you for the super chat.
David dropped a $10 super chat saying thanks for the demo. Not a problem. We're continuing the demo right now. We're continuing the demo. Yeah, that little pop-up thing when members do stuff, that's like a special member splash. So that's why it came up a couple of times. I've got a couple of other splashes that come up when like people drop super chats and stuff as well. There's one little one that comes up when anybody says the word YouTube in chat. It comes up with that little subscribe button. If you've ever noticed that, real tiny on the screen, sort of just about, actually, if I point, you won't see it. So, all right, I'm going to jump to view my channel. I know what video it's on. Yeah, this I'm doing it on desktop to show whether this appears on desktop. Now you can see here on mobile, you can play that. Anybody who comes to that comment can play that back now, and show the transcript, which is basically just a text of what I said. Now it was under my most recent video, so I'm just going to pull this up here, and I just got to skip the video. About 4 days ago from when I'm recording this, and pause my video, and scroll down to the comments, and then I'll pull up the screen. Okay. Yeah, they've done something. They've improved it a little bit from when I checked it when they first rolled this out. So let's scroll to the screen share. There we go. So if you look at the first comment, there's David's comment. Hey, Doug. And on desktop, they will see the transcribed voice reply, so they'll still be able to see it. But voice reply is not supported, so the audio playback won't happen. Let me get that off my face. The audio playback won't happen, but at least they get the transcript, which is still the comment. So that's more beneficial. Before, it wasn't showing the transcript. And I thought to myself, hey, they really should at least show the transcript, because they can see that I replied, but they can't see what I said. So this is an improvement. So hopefully one day they'll also add the voice reply itself so that we can hear it on desktop. But for now, this is what they do. Yes, that's right. On the mobile version, you see the play button and the text version. Like for me, I had to first, let's go back to that one. I had to click transcript for the text to come up, but now it's come up. I can't rehide it. Or maybe I can. No, it's just reply and delete. Probably if I went out and came back. Although I've replied to that, so it won't be in my feed anymore. Oh no, it's still there. Oh, it hasn't changed. Okay. Yeah. So you get both. You can listen, and you can see the transcript. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So if you didn't want to, give it, obviously 30 seconds is a limit to record the message. But if you didn't want to type out like a lot of text, then the voice reply is a really good feature, because then it's also going to provide the text. So even if they're seeing it on the desktop, they're going to see the transcribed text. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty upbeat on that particular feature. I don't know what I was clicking on then. Let's jump back to the chat and the main screen here. All right. Let me know if you've got any questions. Yeah. So the feature. So we saw David say it'd be great to do a video reply, and so we talked about that. It was related to the voice reply, related to the reply to a comment with a short. I don't think they would add one in addition to that, because they would want to keep it brief, because obviously video takes time. There is a bit of a side effect to the voice replies, which I want to mention. I don't know if I talked about this last week. The voice replies, I had some people tell me, and this is before it fully rolled out, and I think it might have still been the case at the time of rollout. I shot off a question to Renee, the creator liaisons. Haven't got a reply yet, but I said, hey, some creators are saying that when you do a voice reply, it adds to your total video count on your channel. Like, so in some fashion, it's counted as a video, like a short would, like a live stream would, like a VOD would, in terms of the count on your video. Because some people were like using it a lot, and I saw a channel that had 10 videos on their channel, and it said they had 100 plus, but they were using the voice reply feature, and so they must have done like a bunch of voice replies and jacked up their video count. So I think that's a bug. I think that's something that YouTube's probably going to correct. But I haven't confirmed that that's happening, nor confirmed whether it's a bug or a feature. So if I get a reply from Renee, I give them a pass not to reply quickly due to Christmas and all that. I think I sent it to him probably in the last week or so. So we'll see. So yeah, so just keep an eye on that. If you do a lot of voice replies, just see if your video count's going up quicker than your actual uploads, including live stream shorts, the whole thing. So if you're seeing that, then it's probably due to voice replies. So I haven't tested that myself. So of course I'm live streaming, adding a video to my video count. I just did another voice reply, so that's adding a video count. Does a post? This is a good question. Does a post count as a video too? Not as far as I'm aware. No, I don't think that's ever counted in the video count. So I don't think it has, because one of the reasons is there's no sort of video/audio media in it that's being generated fresh. You're only ever sharing a video that's already existing. If you do like a video share, uploading an image probably wouldn't count, or a carousel for that matter, but who knows? Now that they're sort of maybe showing Instagram like posts with multiple images as a carousel in the shorts feed, who knows? Who knows? But as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any evidence or anybody talk about posts being counted as videos. Brent says, I love the voice replies. Easy to respond to personally. Yeah, I think so. I agree. I just got to get in the habit of maybe doing it more often. In terms of, making a habit in my comment replying process. Because I do a lot of my comments on desktop. So, it's like, it's a bit of a departure to do it on my mobile, even though I do occasionally do that if I'm like out and about or whatever. Seems like my video count was higher. Yeah, that's an interesting one. In terms of posts, you mean? Yeah. Like I don't see it as posts, because I've been posting regularly, like doing like the weekly updates and stuff during the week. During Creator Insider puts out their weekly news update. I've been dropping a post every week for the past few months. So I should see, if that's the case, I should see my video count go up markedly. I think one of the things you need to do is note what your video count is at some point, and maybe just take an action that you can measure, do a few of those actions and see if that count's changed. That would be probably one way of doing it. Now I need to check. Jump around here and check a couple of things, including now this in-ear is not working, so I'm just going to pull it out because it's irritating my ear. Just as a reminder, while I'm resetting my brain for a second, hey, Niman Live's coming up in about 29 minutes from now. So right after this show, we're going to head on over. Nick and Dee, it's their last live stream of together, at least, of 2025. I don't know if Nick's going to stream during the week before we get to the end of Wednesday, because Wednesday is the last day of the month, or the year, I should say. So yeah, Nick's all scheduled, so he's coming up with the usual show, Q&A, all that, all the good stuff that comes from Nick and Dee, and their tuba school's launching in the new year as well. That's pretty cool. I need to quickly go and add that to my live redirect by clicking a few buttons here. Boom. Save. Live redirect is there. So yeah, well, we could probably do some tests, but it's not something I can test real time in Shorts in terms of the posts accounting. I was going to go and look at my back end real quick, because you can, if you're like just in YouTube Studio, the best place to see your view count, your video count would be, where's video count? There's probably does it give you overview? Videos overview. What cards do we have? I'm just looking at my. Oh, that's interesting. I've last week, I don't know who it was in the chat last week, suggested that, I was talking about, I wasn't planning on putting these live streams into a podcast. And somebody said, oh, you really should. And so 2 days ago, I created the YouTube Creator News Live podcast. And so I went and grabbed all the episodes since I started, specifically YouTube Creator News, where I did the news and, everything we do in the streams typically, and put them into a playlist. And so that was only 2 days ago. And I've just looked now. I've got a podcast card on my analytics. It says that I've already got 321 views and got 74 hours of watch time in like 2 days. Hey, that's a win. That's a win. Why didn't I do podcasts sooner? Why didn't I repurpose my live streams and podcasts sooner? What was I thinking? So I just noticed that now. I just noticed that as I was looking at analytics. Anyway, looking to see where my video, where is the easy place to see your video count? Maybe it's under content. Content. I want to see like videos uploaded. Maybe I need to go. Okay, I need to probably set it for lifetime first of all. That would probably help. New viewers, new subscribers. Now all the cards are 28 days, so I probably need to go into advanced mode. Now posts. I'm still in the content tab. You know what? I should share this. Let's go to this. Take that off my face. Okay, so I'm just in the contents tab. So I'm just trying to figure out. I'll click on posts. See, we were talking about posts. I've actually, over the lifetime of my channel, I've gained 95 subscribers just from posts. I'm actually surprised by that, because I didn't know you could subscribe from posts, but I guess you can. How many posts have I done? That's impressions. That doesn't tell me how many actual posts I've posted. And then we can top post lifetime. Probably going to have to dive into advanced mode. But even like amount of videos over time isn't really there. So let me go in advanced mode. We want to see the metric we want to look at is uploads, isn't it? What's the best way to do this? Let's have a look real quick. End screens, cards. I've got to get used to this new format. Interactions. I don't want interactions. It's more, how many videos have I uploaded? Oh, videos published. Here it is. Videos published not available in the current breakdown. Okay. That's fine. But I want to break down content type. Will that work? I want views and watch time. I want the actual number of uploads. Yes, there it is. Videos published total 770. Now, it's not giving me the specific numbers for live stream video, shorts, and other, which is odd. 770. That's interesting. Obviously, that's not everything that's public either. That is everything. Because public up, there's stuff that's unlisted now. There's stuff that I may have even deleted off my channel, since, lifetime. Which was April 6, 2017. Up to December 26, 2025. So that's the lifetime there. Can I break this down though? That's all my live streams in that time. Look how I got way more consistent in the last. Look how close together they are. A couple of times where there's 2 videos in the same period. Videos, I have some gaps at times, my videos. Anyway, I'm getting shorts is going to be interesting. That's shorts. Obviously, shorts didn't kick in until about here. Other. I don't know what these others are, but I would. They're too early to be posts, these ones. This one, 2021, 2020 might have been posts. I'm trying to remember when posts came out. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, that's not going to give me, but it gave me the total. Total is 770, but that's not what's on my channel. When you go to the about page summary, it gives you that's the public facing view count, which is what a lot of the tools will give you, whether it's vidIQ or what's the other one? Tube Spanner. See, that's giving me 538. So if it's public, that's going to be in that count. Still not telling me whether or not that's going to be, if that's counting voice replies still, or if it's counting it all posts, which I don't think it's counting posts, but we will see. We'll do some testing. I think we'll do some testing. All right. Let's see what's happening in the chat here real quick. I've been using voice reply to someone who is particularly clever or nice. Yeah. David's looking forward to Tuber School. Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty solid. It's going to be pretty solid. I have no idea. I haven't seen any sort of sneak preview or anything of Tuber School, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty stoked. Maybe someone who subscribes from a post meant to subscribe in the past and then remind you of content. It's like marketing repetition. Yeah, certainly. I just don't know whether there's a subscribe button around your posts. That was my main concern in my brain. It's like, is there a subscribe button on posts? I guess there are on mobile. If people discover you and they're not subscribed, they see a subscribe button. I think that's the case. I'll have a quick look. If I just look at my homepage and see if I can find a community shelf or a what do they call it? Just a post shelf. I actually see them on desktop a lot more, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my mobile, so that's okay. That doesn't matter. Lee's still here, still in chat, but working on things for my channel. Yeah, a lot of people like to multitask when they're watching live streams. So I think that's pretty cool. I need to close that down. Let's go back to my live stream screen. All right, it's time for that thing we like to call. If I can find the button, there it is.
It's the last call.
The last call means it's the last chance to post a comment, ask a question before we wrap things up and send on people on over to Nemen Live with Nick and Dee. Of course, yes. Last call, y'all. Woohoo. That's cool. So yeah, if you've got a question or would like to make a comment, now is the time before we wrap things up. For the final show of 2025, by the way, I know we talked about it at the start, but let me talk about it, mention again. I'm not aware of any other streams coming up over the weekend period, apart from Nick and Dee, of course. I think they're taking. I don't think Roberto and Andrew are doing anything on the Opus channel this week. I'm not sure on Chantel's status for her show coming up on Sunday night. So I know she's out of my stream today, so I think she's still recovering, and or family festivities around the Christmas period. I know that's a busy time for her as well. So let's go with the flow. Just keep an eye out for those notifications just in case. All right. Well, it was a pretty cool show. I want to appreciate you all. Everyone's saying thanks for the stream. Thanks for great streams you do on your channel. Not a problem. David says thanks again. As we wrap things up, because we've got to stop, reset, make a coffee, and get ready. So I can jump in. I got to clock in for the work that I do for Nick on that show. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. The next show should be next Saturday. If there's YouTube news between now and then it will be another edition of Creator News Live. Otherwise, it'll be another general creator breakfast, more Q&A, more chat and discussion. If anybody has anything they would like me to talk about on shows like that where we don't have the news, but we're just doing Q&A, or you'd like a live demo or anything like that, make sure you just drop it to me somehow. DM me on one of the platforms, or drop a comment in the video. Drop it in. You can drop it in the community. I have communities turned on the channel since I turned it back on again a month or two back. I've not had a single post, but you can post in my community. It is available on mobile and now on desktop as well. So make sure if you have any suggestions for that, you can drop them there. Just anywhere you can contact me, basically. Philip Murphy's in the house as we're wrapping things up. I'm in between Christmas, New Year, where my algorithm is totally confusing as me. Oh yeah, it's not a time to rely on anybody doing anything at this period, because other people aren't posting. The content is different, less content being posted, a whole bunch of different things going on. So wait till we get through New Year's, past the weekend after New Year's, and then people getting back to normal after that. People getting back to normal here in Australia takes a few more weeks, but hey. Some people have half of January off. It was also our summer, so that's one of the things. But I'm gonna be here every Saturday, unless there's something that stops me. I'll be here every Saturday that I can in 2026, continuing covering and discussing the YouTube news features and rollouts and launches and experiments and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'll catch you next week, and I'll also see you all over on Nick and D Show. So yeah, let's drop that off, and I'll catch you later.